Hello, David. Welcome to Farrell Swim Tech. My name is John Farrell, and I am here to look over your video that is over here. And first off, thank you very much for sending me the video. I was able to look it over, and I think I have three major items that will really help you get to that next level. So kind of first and foremost, what I like to do is I like to review the video with you, kind of do little of a lightning round, and I'll throw out some things that I see, and yeah, just and we'll get into more detail in the three major items I think will really help you get to the next level. So just as a general item, I see that you're wearing a swim cap. Just so you know, you do not have to wear a swim cap during practice. The only times I've seen men wearing swim caps is number one, if they do have long hair. Number two, if they like to keep earplugs in. Other than that, there's really no good reasons to wear swim caps. Realistically, I only wore a swim cap maybe 3 practices my entire career. I always competed in a swim cap. Also, unless you really want to get some practice swimming with a swim cap on, swim caps are not necessary for dudes. They're not really even that necessary to keep your goggles on. So take it what you will. Usually I kind of say this for guys that wear swim caps in pools. It's just not necessary. And a couple things to dispel about caps. Number one, it doesn't save your hair. Water gets inside the cap anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Number two, it does not keep your hair dry. That one's for the ladies, if there's any ladies that are actually watching this. Pretty much the cap is there, number one, to designate what team you're on. Number two, to keep your hair in a manageable location. Those are pretty much it. I wear my goggles under my cap. That's just something I've done my entire swimming career. So that the cap actually does help keep my goggles on, but that is only for racing. I do not wear caps during practice. Anyway, that's that. Okay, so let's get to the lightning round here. Number one, good streamline. Just keep that head pointing down to the bottom of the pool. The first thing that I see, which is one of the items we'll go over, is that you are doing major catch-up stroke. You're allowing that hand during the catch phase to hang out in the front way too long. That is the number one thing we're going to have to fix. Number two, that flip turn is not bad, although that dolphin kick, way too much knee bend. Your legs were like this during that dolphin kick. Smooth out that dolphin kick. Another thing too is with the legs, try to not scissor out so much, especially when you breathe. So the reason why we don't want to scissor, we'll talk about this a little bit more in a second, but the reason why we don't want to scissor out or just open the legs really wide is you lose a lot of effectiveness in your kick if you move your legs out too wide. Now, your legs are pretty straight, which is good. Let's see if we can get it to that next level. Try and tighten up that kick. Allow those legs to not... Think of it like overgearing on a bike. I don't know what your background is, but as far as I understand, overgearing on a bike is when you're in too big of a gear and your legs are moving too slow. When you splay your legs out, when you kick your legs out too far, that's kind of the same idea as overgearing. You're forcing your legs to push too much water when they don't have to, and that can lead to leg fatigue. Okay, so what I like is you are not breathing every stroke. That's really good. You have pretty good elbows. You have a really good range of motion. Your hands get pretty far out. But the number one thing I want to start with is here. Right here. Let's start with this, okay? This is a very, very wide pull path, okay? So... and then look at this, okay? So I'm seeing two things right here, right off the bat. Item number one, your arms are not pulling the same way underwater, all right? Our goal in swimming is to essentially force our arms to be like we're on a bike pedal, okay? You're on a bike pedal. Your right leg and your left leg are pushing the same amount of force per leg. That's the idea. So when we're swimming, we want our right arm to pull as much water as our left arm does. The main reason we want to do this actually comes into play in open water. When you're in a pool, you can kind of you subconsciously course correct while you're swimming in a pool in order to accommodate and counterbalance whatever imperfections or lopsidedness you may have in your stroke. Okay, so let me take myself off the crop here for a second. Okay, so let me think. Okay, so your right arm is pulling about out here. All right, your left arm is pulling out about here. So you see the difference between trying to pull like this and pull like this. So this is kind of like kayaking, being on a kayak, and one oar is completely differently shaped than the other oar. You're trying to move your boat, which is your body, forward with two completely different types of oars on either side. So what that does is that creates a massive muscle imbalance, and you wind up becoming more fatigued in the side that you're actually pulling more water with. Okay? Does that make sense? So what we want to do is if you want to get to this next level, if you want to stop getting tired after 800-900 yards, you got to get your stroke to a point to where it is symmetrical. Your right arm, okay, so imagine you are at the bottom of the pool, you're looking up at me. The water level is right here on my face, just in front of my ears, okay? So I am pulling like this. My right arm is doing the exact same thing the left arm is doing, okay? So let's talk about that pull path right now. So your left arm is pulling all the way out here, your right arm's here, okay? So let's talk about your right arm first. So your right arm, if your left arm was pulling the same way, you would be about here, okay? What I want you to envision is trying to do pull-ups with your arms all the way out here, okay? Because that's what it's like taking a pull. Pull-ups are the absolute closest thing to doing a swim pull that you possibly can get. It utilize pull-ups and also lat pull-downs if you're actually up against a wall and you're pushing the cable down this way. Those are the two closest exercises that you will ever get to actually simulating a freestyle pull in terms of a weight gym, unless you're like on a bench and you're doing like cable rows or something like that, cable pulls. But imagine just trying to move the bar down all the way out here as opposed to through here. That's the kind of difference in strength that we're talking about. So we gotta take this. I teach this in a step-by-step process. So let me go through these steps really quick. Step number 1, what is the pull path? The pull path, we want those arms at about 110 degrees, okay? But when you're rotating, so you want the arms at about 110 degrees. So this is about 90, okay? Scoot them out just a little bit. This is 110 degrees. Now you're probably thinking, but John, your hands are out here. You told me not to be out here. Now you're in the right place, okay? When I pull and I rotate through here, my arm will go down it's going to be just outside the center of the body. Number one thing we want to understand is we never want our hands to go past the center points of our body, okay? Right arm pulls to the right side of the body. Left arm pulls to the left side of the body. You do not have a problem with cross pulling. You do not have a problem with cross recovery, where your hand enters on the opposite side of your body. You do not have that problem. Your recovery is actually really good. We need to talk about your tempo though, and we'll talk about that next. But pull path, number 1. You want to get faster, get your pull path straightened out. So how do we work on this? So first thing that we do, let me scooch my chair over. So first thing that we do is we want to take our hand in front of us, all right? We want to get the right pull path, okay? So just take your arm straight in front of you. What you're going to do is you're going to scoop that hand forward And then this elbow is going to push out. So your hand comes towards you in a linear fashion. All right? So scoop while pulling. Scoop while pulling. So first, get this motion down. You're gonna put your hand in the water, scoop that water, and then you're going to create a flat surface. You got to envision you're grabbing a brick, and you're going to push that brick all the way behind you. And then you're going to repeat the process with the right hand. Okay? Scoop, 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 push. You are pushing. You're actually not pulling, you're pushing. I think that's one of the biggest kind of misnomers, misclassifications in swimming, where people say, oh, well, I'm pulling with my arms. But this really is a pulling motion. This is more of a push. You're pushing water backwards, and you gotta think of it as a push. You're grabbing bricks and you're pushing them behind you, underneath you. So you are floating about a foot above, about 18 inches above a brick, and you're going to grab that brick and you're going to push it backwards, and I'm totally hitting my bike right now. Push it back. See, there's my bike right behind my butt. So you're going to grab that water, push it backwards, push, push, push. Now notice how my head is not moving. This is how you want to get to. Okay, you want your shoulders to be completely rotating, and you want that head to be as smooth as possible. Okay, obviously I have to let my hands go to the side of my body, but you're going to push all the way underneath your body. So that's step one, dry land. Scoop, 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 push. Scoop, push. Scoop, push all the way to the back. Scoop, push all the way to the back. That's step number one. You got to get this motion down. You got to understand what this is. Because remember, in water, you are in zero gravity. You are in zero gravity underwater. And it is kind of hard to understand exactly what your body is doing when you're in a zero gravity environment. So, next, what do we do? Let me fix my armrest real quick. So, what's next? What's next? Honestly, get a snorkel. Get a snorkel, get a good pool buoy. Those are two things that you're going to want. So, what I highly recommend is you spend a whole workout working on the pull path. Just spend a whole workout nice and slow. Nice and slow. You want to get that pull path down. And right now during the off season is the absolute best time to do it. You can take a couple of workouts and take it easy and not really worry about, okay, well, I got to make this time set or I got to make this set. No. Push off with a snorkel, with a pool buoy, and just focus on that pull path. Personally, oh shoot. Okay, I gotta get something. Gotta get something to someone. I do apologize. I have to send a quick text message. I am very sorry. I got someone who needs a door code for a building, and I have to give it to them right now. All right. Okay, sorry about that. I'm the technology specialist for my church, and I'm in charge of security access codes. So, yeah, someone needs access to a building like now. Okay, so work on that for like 2 workouts. And then what you want to do, and this is with snorkel and a pull buoy. If you don't have a snorkel, that's okay. Try and breathe at least every 4 strokes and hyper focus on looking at your hands, looking where your hands are pulling, what is their trajectory. So from up, push down, up, push down, up, push down, up, push down. That's the idea you want to get in your head. You want to be able to reach up and push it down. Push that brick all the way down. That's the idea. The best way to do it is, okay, I'm sorry. I missed a step. So the second step, I do apologize. I do these in one take. So you're going to reach up and you're going to push down, okay? Push down. Let me get a little bit more height on this camera. So you're going to reach up and push, okay? So you're going to reach up, push down, push down, push down, push down, okay? Push down, push down. Grab. Okay, we'll just get a little bit more height on that. So you're up here, okay? You're all the way up here. You're going to grab that brick. Grab that brick. And then you're going to push down. Push down. Push. Yeah, and this is the strange angle of the thing. So it looks like I'm actually going cross body, but I'm actually over here. So push down, okay? Grab that brick. Push it down, okay? That's more of the trajectory that you're going to want to get. Okay. So then what you want to do is after you've spent a couple swim sessions simply working on that pull path, you want to integrate pulling into your routine every time. Every workout you do, and during your pull, that is when you hyper focus on that pull path, okay? You want to hyper focus on the pull path, and then the next swimming set after you do that, you want to hyper focus on integrating that pull into the full stroke. Okay, now, so that's number one. Fix your pull path. You want to pull more efficiently? Fix your pull path. I guarantee you'll be able to last a lot longer than 8 to 900 yards. Okay, so next, let's talk about tempo. Let's talk about your stroke rate. Okay, your stroke rate does your overall tempo needs some work. Let's go back to this video. Okay, so right here, pause. Okay, you are spending way too much time with your hands in front before you start pulling. Okay, so I want to show you the difference between you pulling and me pulling. Okay, this is something I did during the pandemic last year. I needed to I wanted to do a review of Zoot's pool buoy and kickboard. So so my swim coach got me access to the pool. So this is me doing a pull set. So you see I'm grabbing the water immediately when my hands get in the water, okay? And they're going right, left. So what's happening is you're spending too much time here. You're not grabbing that water soon enough. You're allowing yourself to do what's called a catch-up stroke. You're allowing one hand to be here before that other hand. You have your other hand recover before your other hand makes a pull. Okay? So, all right. Okay. So one other thing I want you to see is I want you to see me. This is a sprint 100 that I did. So see how my arms are continuously moving. They are continuously moving the entire time. By the way, your Streamline's not bad, by the way. So my hand gets in that water and it immediately starts grabbing water. That is how you want to do it. Obviously, this is a sprint. This was 100 for time. I think I went a 58 on this one. I mean, granted, I hadn't touched a pool in like 6 months or something like that. But yeah, so that's the tempo that you want to work towards. Okay. So, okay. So we'll move on to the other one in just